Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode for Divinity Original Sin, a new isometric fantasy role-playing game that was developed by Larian Studios. Larian Studios? Larian something, I think it's Studios. And they have made a lot of other Divinity games, which I have honestly never played. The most recent one was the Dragon Commander, I think that was released last summer. I know that was from these guys, and I heard that was an okay game. It wasn't really my thing, so I never covered it or anything, but that was kind of cool. But I have been looking forward to Divinity Original Sin ever since I heard of its Kickstarter, because this is actually one of only 2 games I have ever kickstarted, and I've just been hyped for it ever since I did that, which would have been, a year and a half ago, I think, or like 2 years ago. I can't even remember. And I was going to cover this game back when it was in its alpha/early access stage a couple months ago when that was released, but I knew that I was going to want to try and do a full campaign, a full series on it, and I didn't really want to ruin any of the gameplay, any of the surprises that would even happen in the beginning of the game. So I'm pretty fresh when it comes to this. I know like the first 5 or 10 minutes of the game, that's about it, and I'm very excited to be starting this series. So something else I wanted to show before we jump into it is under the options, they actually have the full list of Kickstarter backers, and what's really cool is that the list is kind of randomized. So, oh wow, I like this. Those are some cool names. 123 Kings, Blood Demon with a 1-3. There you go. Hashtag LeadSpeak. A man wants a child who realized he would one day be a man and longed for that freedom. What the heck? But anyway, whenever you go back into it, it jumps to another. Well, hold on. It did before. There we go. So, I was like, wait a minute. It jumps to a different part of the full list that's in this game, so that's kind of cool. I'm in there somewhere as well as thousands of other people. Alright, so let's jump into a new game. And you can do this game co-op. There are 2 characters you play as, and so if you do co-op, each of you would take control of one character. I'm going to run as a single player, because I'm going to be recording the series, and having a partner to be with through the entire recording of the series would be kind of a hassle to put our times together. There are some friends of mine that I could have done this with, but it would just be too much of a hassle, and I just decided to play on a single player. Though I will try out the co-op at some point. I don't know if I'll make a series on it or not, but it should be interesting. Okay, so you start with the character creation, and you can fully customize your characters. Also, they do not have to be male or female. They could be man-man, woman-woman. That's about it. It's actually man-woman, man-man, or one-woman. So let's go into our first character here. Now, I've already decided what I want my characters to be. I jumped into this screen before and kind of fiddled around to what I liked. But I just wanted to show this creation screen for everybody else. So you do have this set of presets, this fighter, a knight, a ranger, and you will notice that their attributes, abilities, talents, and starting skills are all predetermined this way. But you can go into any of these classes and customize them to whatever you want them to be. So I can take this, I think this is the knight class, and I can take away their two-handed ability, I can take away their armor and bodybuilding ability, I can make them have more willpower, I can change out their man-at-arms skills, which are kind of like the fighter skills. I can say, no, forget that, and I'll do geomancy. And basically, you can make any kind of character that you want. You can use the presets if you want to, but you can make any character you want with the starting skills that are available to you. So, let's see, so we have Geomancer now. Now, if I take that back away and put Man-at-Arms, all these 3 light up, because these are Man-at-Arms skills. If I take that away and do Geomancy, then I'd have to go in here, and then I'd have to go to the Geomancy screen, and then use one of these spells, like a Summon Pet spell, which I will be using. So we just put that in there. Now, you're not restricted to just one of these things. You have a full set of points that you can use, and you can apply them anywhere in any of these starting stats. So personality, craftsmanship if you want to do some blacksmithing, nasty deeds if you want to be a lockpicking, pickpocketing, sneaking person. So I can just choose not to do any of these, I'd imagine, though that would be kind of bad because even like the scoundrel skills and the fighting skills need, I think, one of these. So that would be kind of bad, but you could, if you want to, instead just put that point to leadership and put your other point to shield specialist, and then you would just not have any real starting skills because you don't have any of the skills required. But if you want to do that, you can. You can change your stats if you want to whatever you want to be. They are all start at 5, and you can dump them in however you want to. So fully customized characters, which is awesome. I'm glad that the presets are there for people who are like, I don't really care that much. I just want to play like a knight. Jump as a knight, go for it. That's your call. But if you want to jump into it, boom, you can change everything. And then you can go to the talents. There's an entire talent list. Now, all of these in red require a certain amount of levels before you can get them, which is why they're in red. You can see off to the right, requires level 5, requires willpower ability 5. But you can go through all of these and do whatever you want. Take these off, and then boom, boom. So that's cool. That is just really cool. And I actually did not look at the talents when I made my character, so I'm probably going to have to look through all of these and see what I want. But anyway, let me jump into what I want my characters to be. And it doesn't really matter. Actually, you know what? Let me click accept. Oh, I have to actually put all the points in. Whoops. You don't have the required abilities for the skills. Oh. I was just going to hit accept so I can kind of reset this, but this will probably be faster. Now I can accept. Okay. And then I'll just accept. Alright, now let's actually go in and make the guy I actually want to make. So I'm going to start with a battle mage. I'm going to name tokshen. Okay, so again, you can just start as one of these presets. It gives a brief description here. Amplifies brute strength with powerful magic. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to adjust. I'm going to customize. I'm going to keep armor specialist. I'm going to get rid of the single-handed because I want to play with a spear, and that's going to be under the two-handed because I like spears. I always have, so I try to play with spears when I can. So I love polearms. And I'm going to take away the witchcraft set of skills and apply that to the hydrosophist. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I've never said this word out loud before. Hydrosophist. Hydrophist. I'm not sure. The hydro person. I'm going to apply a point right there. And so that will unlock... This is part of the witchcraft skills, and since I took away the witchcraft ability, I'm going to have to remove this skill, and I'm going to replace it with the hydrosophist. Oh, hold on. Hydrosophist. I guess that's how you say that. And I'm going to put a minor heal skill right there. Burning touch, I think I keep the same. Yes. That's a kind of a close-up burning spell, and you can see it has a 40% chance to set things on fire, which that's cool. And then Crushing Fist, oh, what did I replace that with? I think I replaced it with Courage, Encourage, which will raise the strength, dexterity, and intelligence of all the party members around you. Now, you do start off with only 2 characters, but later on in the game, you will acquire more, and I think the max is 4 at a time. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I know you can have more than 2. That's a definite. So we'll select Encourage. So we have a heal, we have a group buff, and a Burning Touch spell. I don't think I'm going to mess around with the stats here. No, I don't think I want to mess around with any of those. And let me look at the talents. Gives you the ability to perform an attack of opportunity. Increases your recovery and maximum action points by 2 when your health is below 30%. Immunity to fear, but you can no longer flee from combat. Lowers the action point cost of spells by 1 when standing in a surface of the same element. Range of spells and scrolls by 2 meters. Know-it-all decreases everyone's attitude towards you by 20, but gives you 1 extra point of intelligence. That's funny. Leech heals you when standing in blood. Whoa. Plus 2 perception bonus. Wow. A lone wolf can no longer have a companion, but receives an 80% bonus to base vitality, 2 bonus to recovery, and maximum action points. Now, I don't know if the extra character off to the side is considered a companion. Maybe companions are what you get later on in the game. I'm not sure. That's weird. My precious. Every time you hit or get hit, your gear has a 50% chance of not losing durability. Increases the weight. Enable you to talk to animals. That could be useful. 2 bonus points in charisma, but you lose intelligence. Gives you a bonus point in blacksmithing and 1 in crafting. Thick skin gives you 5 extra base armor plus man-at-arms times 2. I'm not sure. I don't think I need... What a rush. But is there anything I want to replace? I think Pet Pal. Talking to animals seems pretty cool. Well, yeah, let's do that. Pet Pal. And Opportunist. Okay, so then we accept. And as you can see right here, you can change to female if you want to. I will keep that as male. AI personality, I'm going to put as loyal. You have random, no AI, or loyal. I'm just going to put loyal for both of them. Voice, I'll do a rogue.
The one place metal and bread are welcome in equal measure.
Yes. And... Honey Glow? I didn't actually mess around with the skin colors. With the head choices, I want... I think it was that one? No, that one. Where was the hair? Must have passed it. Do I like this one? Kind of. That's a little too much, I think. Let me do this one. That's not what I chose before, but that's fine. Jet black is fine, and underwear. I like this 13 star thing, but we're just gonna go with that. Okay. So I have my skills. Have all that, and accept. So there we go. There's Tokshen the Battle Mage. And then Scarlet, I'm going to rename to Kara. Or Kara, however way you want to pronounce that. And we'll just go into the fighter and then customize her. What did I do with you? I think I took away bodybuilding. Yes, and I made her a geomancer. That's what I did. And then talents... My precious. Well, she is a fighter, so I guess that makes sense. I'll keep that the same. And then over here, I'm going to change Dust Devil for... Where are you? The Summon Pet skill, because I love pet summoning. Battering Ram. I think I changed this for a Cure Wounds. But I guess Tokshen does cure light wounds too. So what I want to keep Battering Ram. Rush forward in a straight line to a point far away, hitting all enemies in your path. And persistent chance to knock down. You know, I think I would keep that for right now. Okay, so the Summon Pet ability suffers a minus 30% from low intelligence. I would consider my intelligence to be slightly low. I guess. I wonder if that changes on the fly. Let me like take away these 2 points, put them in intelligence, and then see if the... Ah, okay, so yeah, the penalty is based on your current abilities. Okay. I see. Well, let's see here. Speed affects your movement, initiative, and how many action points you use in combat. Perception affects your critical chance, initiative, starting action points, ability to detect traps, and accuracy. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with this. I'll stick with that. And then we'll change you to loyal, keep you as a warrior voice. And I want to go with that. So I want to. I like to think that our characters come from the same place. That's why they have similar face paint. And the hair. Oh, I didn't even see this one. Princess Leia. What? Actually, I like the dreads, but the one I originally went with was this one. With the henna red color. Kind of like that. Okay. And underwear, I think she has kind of similar stuff. The red or the 13 stars, which I don't really get, but okay. Alright, and here we go. Tokshen and Kara. Kara. I'm going to pronounce it Kara, actually. I changed my mind. And let's do it. Yes, I'm done. Sorry if that process...
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Rivellon cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source.
Game kind of paused.
But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Rivellon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry and out for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Sicil. Nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Sicil. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off at the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
I like this music. Okay. Welcome to Divinity Original Sin. Click anywhere on the ground or hold left mouse to continually begin exploring. Okay? Yep. And at any time, you can take control of either character. What's also pretty cool is you can make sure, or to make them not follow you around, you can actually just do that. And then the other person would just stay put. So that's kind of cool. Alright. So yeah, I have not even played this game since the alpha release, so I'm sure some of this is going to be different from what I expect. Ooh. Okay.
If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
I like how they did sorcerers with the source. Yeah, that's
Is that
good.
a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage?
Oh, you rogue. Also take this rain scroll. I think that's it right there. Oh, resurrect scroll. Oh, cool. Traveler's Journal. The Order of Source Hunters, a brief history. Okay. Rejoice, for the statues have granted my wish. Their whimsical nature, however, must not be taken lightly, so before I soar through the sky like an eagle, I shall attempt a mere hop from the cliffs down at the beach. This should be a small feat for the man that can fly. If this experiment is successful, the sun shall be my next target. I don't think he made it. Click on characters that have exclamation marks above their heads. This will initiate dialogue. So, what's kind of cool, if you were playing this co-op, is that you actually get to choose what your character says. Now, playing single player, I'm choosing, I think, what both of them say. So it's kind of odd, but oh well. Cooperative dialogue, it allows you to roleplay discussions between the two main characters. So yeah, in a single player, I'm roleplaying as both. So it kind of makes more sense in co-op. Tokshen, can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues of all things. And... let's see... Pure madness. Rivellon is no stranger to the supernatural. He might well... oh, okay. So the AI behavior, maybe that I did in the beginning... okay, so maybe that chooses what the character says. Okay. Maybe that's what that is. Pragmatic +1 and romantic +1. Huh. Okay. Picked up a shell. And what the heck is this? Okay. Let's just forget the shell. I'm holding down the Alt key to see what's on the ground.
Woe is me. Dry air, my soul.
Okay, I hear someone talking. But I didn't see anybody.
How I find here are shells of men. Yield me unto the water.
Weird. Maybe we'll come back around there at some point and find this person talking.
Curses upon them, source hunters! Secure the stone! I'll deal with these rats.
Goddess be with you, master!
Awesome. So yeah, the actual combat in this game is
Rise.
tactical, turn-based tactical.
Arise, drawn forth from blood, I bid you aid me.
Hello, skeletons. Combat is turn-based. To move, attack, or cast a spell, you need to use action points. Different actions have different costs. Your turn ends when you have no action points left. Kind of reminds me of the old Fallout games. Because they were the same, weren't they? Maybe I'm just thinking about Fallout Tactics. I know that was kind of the same. Anyway, it's an old game. So for the first thing I want to do is summon a pet. Target is blocked. Haha! Awesome. I have a spider. And we'll move up. I'm not sure what that icon means. Maybe that she is engaged in combat? Alright, so for Tokshen, encourage is 15 meters. So let me buff the party. Fumble on applying consume. What? Interesting. Alright, spider, let's take out the archer. Cool. Absorb 6 and is immune to poison. It's attack, kick. No, it's 4 action points. Okay, well, we will preserve those action points then. And let's enable this. That increases damage but lowers hit chance. Alright. Darn it. Target is too far. Okay. That's a cool spell effect. Press Alt to highlight objects that can be picked up. The higher your perception, the more objects you will see. Wow, so you can even miss things just by not having high enough perception? Interesting. Let's preserve the rest. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool so far. Okay, let's attack. And you're dead. Aw. Let's try this skill. Yeah, those spell effects are awesome. And then you get to choose where you run to. Nice, but knockdown failed. Okay. So move back. And you have a fireball scroll. I don't really want to use that. Let's just go up and attack. Woo! That is so cool.
The leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside?
Oh yeah, this place right here. Okay, cool. Oh no, spider! No, Max. I named most of my spiders, or summons Max. Anything else on the ground? No. Alright, so I guess we go in here next. And let me look at this armor. Armor rating 4 requires Dex 6. Which neither of us have. Shoot. Okay. Let me use... Man, those spell effects are so cool! Oh, that's a heal over time. I didn't even realize what that was. Okay. My first dungeon! Ah, so pumped. It's been a while since I've played a game like this. I've been really itching for it, but I've been trying to stay away from games like this because I knew Divinity was coming out. I'm like, oh, can't wait. Alright, let's go to the broken
This
vase.
seems to be broken.
You don't say. Your powers of perception. This chest doesn't look very solid. Try breaking it open. You can control click. So, something I've understood from watching other like introductions to this game is that every single time you attack a chest or a door, your weapons will take a durability loss. So you have to be careful, I guess.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
Okay. Candles are burning. Oh, I can set them... Okay. So another thing in this game, you can click and drag objects that are movable. So I can like throw those over there. Okay, can I throw this? Yeah. And you can use that in combat. So I imagine if you're like next to a pile of crates and you want to narrow the battlefield a little bit, you can just move the crates to do that. So it's pretty cool. And alright, okay, they tell you about this right here. You can stack boxes on boxes. Stack barrels on boxes. Let's stack barrels on boxes. And then a barrel on a barrel. Oh, it's too high. I can't do that. How about a barrel just on a barrel? Cool. That's just a cool feature. Let's actually put this down. There we go.
Careful! There's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
A mine? Huh! And now it's burning. Oh, that's a cool effect. I'm sure we don't want to walk in there.
This seems to be broken.
Okay. You can move a container icon by dragging it around your screen using your left mouse. What? A container icon. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. I just have like the biggest smile on my face right now. I'm so excited to be playing this. Alright.
I've always heard there's more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
What's also pretty cool is that none of this stuff was voiced the last time I played this game. Because I do remember I have actually been in here. I went this far in the alpha. But none of that was voiced, so I like it. Alright, let's open this up. Gravekeeper Rage Quinn? Tend the graves in the antechamber before moving into the inner rooms. To proceed, stand very close to the impressed door and press the button that appears on its right-hand side. A clue. Okay. Knock down arrowhead. Okay. A pitchfork. Actually, I may give this to tokshen. Because my skill is in two-handers, and that is a two-hander. Training sword is 15 to 20, this is 12 to 31. Action points are 4. Wow, so their action points are different. Critical damage is the same, durability is lower. Use that pitchfork. Is that the door?
I've spotted something.
Ah. Assign points to your perception stat to reveal traps and secrets. Neither of my characters are very perceptive. I'm really hoping that later in the game we'll find a companion that is kind of your roguish ranger type. Let me just check over here before we continue onward. Find a lockpick to open it. Would you look at that? First, use the lockpick, then click on the object. Guess you have to go in the inventory for that. Oh, that's actually moving it back down there. Use. Alright. Okay. Teleportation. Throw an item or character up high and drop it to the ground, dealing 17 to 21 crushing damage. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright. Now, anybody in this game can use a scroll. So you don't have to be trained in witchcraft or whatever to use it, as long as it's a scroll. Alright, let's get this mushroom and then proceed. Let's actually move as our warrior here. You know, with the sword and shield, she actually reminds me of the character from Dragon Age 2. You can look behind walls and pillars by holding the middle mouse button. Zoom in. Oh. Yes, okay. Ooh. Probably do some up-close action shots when we get into combat. Oh, you know what? That's pretty cool, how the terrain is disappearing when our characters are behind it. That's pretty cool.
We
What was
made
her
short
name
work of
in
that
Dragon
door,
Age 2?
but
Adele?
I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long.
True. Bashing through every entrance we find is bound to affect our gear's durability.
She was the city guard. She was really cool. Ah, I can't remember her name. Oh well. Okay, I will take the game's advice and quick save. Maybe that means we're coming up to a battle. Fire can be removed by water. Use a water spell or destroy a water barrel. Sorry, I just thought about the Mortal Kombat movie, if any of you have seen that. Rain Scroll. And there's a moment where Katana just kind of comes out, and she's like, use the element which brings life. And it's just so obvious, and Liu Kang's like, oh, the water! Element that brings life. Like, it's... Anyway. Sorry. Random, I know. Rain Scroll. Make it rain. Whoa. Oh, that's a cool little dance. And we are wet. Makes sense. Ah, a water barrel. Probably could have used those as well.
Hold. Our enemies have laid a trap.
What, the mine? To disarm a mine, first use the disarm trap kick and click on the mine. Kind of odd that this is like a fantasy game with mines. That's kind of cool. I guess maybe there's some, what, like steampunk stuff thrown in? Use. Excellent. Okay, so let's find that key. I'll take that. Try using fire on poison surfaces and poison clouds. A fire spell or fire arrow will do the trick. Really? Okay, well, I guess let's use that fireball. Huh. So fire gets rid of poison, water gets rid of fire. Okay. Sure that will stop running in time. Alright, cool. The other character is smart enough to walk around the fire and not through it. And there is the key. So I gotta remember that. Fire gets rid of poison. I'm sure that will come up later. Oh, maybe that's not the key? And the key's not in my inventory. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, yeah, so there is no use, so it would automatically be used if that was the correct key. Okay. Guess let's go somewhere else.
This seems to be broken.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the lockpicks. There we go. Hello, rats. Is there anything else here? Like, it said the key should be nearby, right? Maybe it's over there. I don't want to move until we unlock that chest. That chest requires a key. That means something good is in it. It's empty now, but you can fill it up. Okay. Man, you would really think that the key I got from the other chest would be the one. And you can just take a load off. Okay. Nice. Alright, well, I guess we go through the door. Maybe it's just further on. Okay, so the key unlocked that door. Alright, well, I kind of wanted to get into another combat before I ended this first video, but I'm not sure when that's going to be because this is like a tutorial area. So I think I'm going to end it here. I hope you enjoyed the first video. I hope the character creation didn't bore you, but with all the customization in this game available for your character creation, it's just something I love, and I wanted to spend some time on it, so I hope that didn't bore you too much. And I will see you all in the next episode when we finish the tutorial dungeon, which is what I'm calling this. So thanks for watching. Take care.